Hello, welcome to this week's episode where today your two favorite sailors are not in fact sailing, we're driving. We're on a road trip. We're gonna go get a wetsuit.
What can't they do?
Dry suit?
Dry suit.
Yeah, we'll get wet eventually.
Also, is that my instructions on my phone?
Yeah, 30 kilometers
I
straight.
know where we are.
30 kilometers straight. And we are going to go to an antique barn in Chemainus that has a bunch of antique nautical things. So we're going to go see if there's anything that can spice up our boat.
Spice up our lives. Give us meaning to our empty lives.
Stuff. I suspect I'm going to be profoundly disappointed, but there was in a photo, there was two hatches.
Can you afford those?
Bronze hatches. I'll make it work. Because we have to rebuild two hatches on our boat, and I would way rather than be
See if there's cars.
bronze. So,
It's fine.
I hope you guys enjoy this episode. A little bit of a departure from the usual. We will take you along for the ride and maybe go sailing because I'm going to head back to
Right
Vancouver.
now? Babe.
Not right. Well, put the sails up, babe.
Right now.
Hoist the main.
I'm already in fifth gear. That's
Fifth
all
gear.
I got.
Dang. For now, road trip.
Roadhouse.
The whole point of this road trip is that a friend of ours offered a free dry suit in Victoria, so we decided to go for a road trip and swing into the antique barn on our way. We found the barn.
I thought you lived here in a barn.
Now we're gonna find some cool stuff.
It's so good outside. Isn't that a regular occurrence?
Yeah.
It smells so. Oh, there's a food truck. Something smells amazing out there, like someone's been baking.
You can tell them that he'll be happy.
Oh yeah.
I love me a good antique mall, and this one has served me very well in the past for antique nautical things. Hey, there's our outboard.
Huh. That's definitely what I was supposed to get.
Move.
Hey, look over there.
You gotta look through everything, you gotta look everywhere, because every once in a while, an antique mall will surprise you with a hidden gem inside it. And this mall is no exception. Just wait till you see what we find. And no, we didn't buy another boat. It's huge. I think this is it. Oh, maybe, yeah. No, that's slightly disappointing.
Yeah, these are cool, but like not really practical.
Someone gobbled up the bronze hatches. Damn it! Haley found the coolest score. Oh my god. I have to offer this. I have to. I've never seen bids this nice. It's these that make it so worth it. Oh my god.
Those are pretty nice.
Thimble. Oh my
so
lord.
it's, yeah, too big, too small. I don't know.
Babe, I can't believe you spotted this.
Well,
It's
yeah,
so
you
sick.
would have spotted it if you walked past. Yeah, I mean, it is a lot of money. You always think about it, and then you
Let's
can have
not think about it at all.
Oh,
'Cause
really?
these are like
Afford that, though?
$200 a piece.
See if we can talk about it.
Very happy. Bronze hatches might not have been in there, but this rigging kit was.
TV? Oh, my TV, babe?
Yeah. So we got another 55K to go to Victoria.
Yeah.
But I'm so stoked on this rigging kit.
Do you say that you were stoked already? Because I think that's the first time I've heard it.
Okay. Like it was waiting for me.
Also, there was some random stuff in it that I think somebody else had put in.
Yeah, somebody
Such as and like.
Somebody put some free stuff in there,
So
such as
I didn't
this.
even see that in there. So maybe someone was planning on coming back for that, but now we got the cross of Jesus. We just leave it in here.
It's right there. It's so cool.
It's right there.
These ships belong to the Salts Company, and I'm sure many of you guys have seen them around. I'm not sure which is which, but there's Pacific Grace and Pacific Swift, and they are amazing ships. They usually get hauled out in Port Townsend for their annual restorations. It's amazing what you can build with tax-free discount Jesus bucks. Ooh-wee! It is breezy out today. I am headed ashore right now with my rigging kit that I just bought. I'm going to merge my old and new rigging kits together, see what I got. I'll give you guys a little tour of all the bits. Here's my old rigging kit. Here's my new one, and I'm gonna make stacks of all my spikes and fids and kind of make one final complete kit. Okay, so I've pulled everything out of the box and the bag. And shockingly, this isn't the entirety of my rigging kit. There's still a bunch on Thunderchild. So here's all the new fids. Like this one's Manel, stainless, Manel, copper, stainless, 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 copper. This one's Manel, crazy. It's my bronze hammer made out of a old prop shaft. There's all my pickers, a couple new pickers, Swedish fid, sewing palms, those reach through fids. There's the serving mallets. There's some of my marlin spikes. There's all my wood fids, knives, and other fids. So now I have to determine, do I want all of this to live in there or live in there? I feel like I should put my rigging stuff in here, and I should designate this to be all of my corking supplies and other larger tools. So I have it all condensed into here, and there's a bit of method to this madness. So this pocket has 2 spikes in it. This one has a giant fid and a leather awl. This one has all of those other fids that I got in this recent kit. That's one of the new fids. This is a slightly smaller fid. And then this pouch here has all my spikes in it and other little prying tools like this guy, which is kind of like a spike in the end. And then down here is all of the serving mallets. In this pouch is all of my pickers. I have several of those, several more of them still on the boat. Hammers, marking tools, that sort of thing. This is a more modern fid set. And then in here is consumables. And this will stow nicely on the boat. And as I said, this box will now become my woodworking, so planes, any hand planes I keep on the boat, and mallets and corking mallet and all my corking tools, and probably all of my oakum and that sort of stuff, all stowed in here. So between these 2 kits, I've got boat maintenance and rig maintenance covered. So after all the work that Haley has done to her motorcycle, I think she has crushed every little bit of it and done it right. But now I put a new battery in it and I think it's gonna work. It's in neutral.
Oh, those lights are looking very bright.
Hold up.
Oh, the petcock, is it on?
It is off.
Please be careful, you're not wearing a helmet. Shame. Our American viewers won't find that strange, but hits the car immediately. Wow, so cool. Who'd you steal that from? Babe, kick the tires, light the fires. Fucking thank God, man. Thank you, Jesus.
That's all it needed was a couple extra bolts on the battery.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The battery was half dead, so.
Turn off the petcock? Yeah. That's the thing. We always forget about the petcock, but it is there. Cool.
Time to do a little bit of outboard maintenance. She dirty. Time to clean it. Got it all cleaned up. Now Simon's gonna get my shit wiring all cleaned up. Sure is rainy out, hey?
Right, so we do this thing. I got these like crab floats from Crab Farm, and we do this thing where we need to move a mooring. We put a sacrificial line, we tie a little quick release knot, and we float it with the tide. It's the very cheap way of doing it. Turns out when you release it, sometimes they don't just go straight to the surface. This one came like a missile straight at my dinghy and sent me flying. So I am fresh out of the ocean. It is cold. It's very cold in there.
Wow.
Yeah. And yeah, I guess I don't need to take a shower now.
Yeah, that's what you need.
I gotta drive, so I can't even do that.
I'm sorry.
Soggy Simon.
It couldn't have happened to a better guy.
Couldn't it happen to a better guy? Like, what the fuck does that mean, Haley? What the fuck could that possibly mean?
Just think of Mexico.
So we got this on. Got that all painted down there. Got the quick disconnect so we can go take the battery ashore and charge it. And we got the breaker. So the cool part is all you gotta do is flick that. Now it's engaged. Convenient that I just got a rigging kit. Today is a rigging job aboard Rugen, which is, as you can tell behind me, a beautiful Colin Archer. It's a replica of Rescue Ship 1. If you know, you know. If you don't, look it up. Yeah, a lot of my love of Colin Archers comes from this boat, and it's kind of just a jumbo version of Thunderchild in a vague sense. Yeah, so I've known this boat for years, sailed on it many times, and I have never liked the rig tension on it, and the owners are about to take it north, and they took me at face value when I said that their rig was not adequately tensioned. So here we are, tensioning it up. This is already better than it was. This is about as good as you need a traditional rig to be. They don't really need to be guitar string tight like on a Bermudan or Marconi rig, so the process is quite simple for us to do this. Let me show you. So we're taken one of the halyard blocks and we take it to the bitter end of this rope that passes through the dead eyes. We put extreme tension on it, and then we sweat sequentially, starting with that one, then 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 that one, and then all of this tension is put into the rig that way. And then to secure the ropes, we just do a nice lashing, seizing here on the rig, and we're using tarred marlin. And yeah, pretty happy with the results. They look good, and the rig is supremely more tensioned. And one of the things I was noticing before is that because the rig was so slack, the main was slightly tipped to port side. But if I line myself up with this stay here, I can see that the masthead lines up with it really nicely. Before it was sitting more like that. So now it's like this, which is much, much better. Rig is square, tension's going in. We've got 2 on this side, fully tensioned. These guys I think are 90%, maybe 100%. And then 1 more to tension on the aft section of these shrouds. And then starboard is done. Pretty cool to be able to work on this boat. I knew the previous owners quite well, and a lot of my friends know the builder, or knew the builder quite well until he passed. And it's got a lot of cool history around here, and a lot of people know it and love it. It's not very Colin Archer standard to see such a big wheelhouse on a boat like this, but it makes a lot of sense if you're in the Pacific Northwest to stay sheltered and stay warm. To put it simply, doing a seizing is pretty basic. You secure your tarred marlin to the rope that you're working on. You do a few wraps around horizontally, and then vertically you go around the top, as you can see I'm doing here. And then at the end you just cinch it down, and in this case I use the good old marlin spike hitch. And they slip off easy and don't foul up your lines at all, as you can see here. So satisfying to look back at it. Artful fastening at its best. I'm going to make some traditional rigging mix. So I have Rugen's bobstay here. I just ground all the rust off, but the cable itself looks immaculate, so that's good. And what I'm going to put on it, because this part goes in and out of the water constantly, I'm going to put a mix of pine tar, raw linseed oil, because that kind of kicks off and cures and goes hard. And then, yeah, pine tar, linseed oil, paint thinner so it soaks in, and that will saturate it in and protect it. I wanted to do parceling, worming, and serving, especially with my new rig kit. That would have been really fun, but my time constraints and their budget constraints don't allow for it. So just a quick boat sauce on it, and that will prevent rusting, keep this thing alive for another 20 years. And if they keep on top of it, damn near indefinitely. honestly. It's great. And you can see how on just bare steel you can still see through it a little bit, and you can already tell it's starting to kick off. It's quite dry in the middle there. So ideally it keeps curing and I can apply a second coat. All right, got the Rugen bob stay remounted. See, it's nice and juicy. It's still gonna kick off in the sun, but they're taking off and I'm taking off, and I don't get back before they leave, so I don't want to leave them stranded without a bobstay. So now I have to get back to Thunderchild, pack my clothes, and head off to Richmond on the motorcycle, and I'm gonna get back to working on Small. Busy day, and I'm running behind schedule. Hopefully all the ferries line up. All right, got the motorcycle all loaded up, ready to hit the road. Just gotta gear up. Well, tide's too low for the BC ferries to get on the go, so I think I'm stuck here till the tide rises. Pretty crazy. Remember where I sold him my Harley Davidson to get Dagon in the water. See you later, Graham. Yeah. There she goes. He took the motor out of my motorcycle and put it into his, and it looks and sounds so good. So what are you about to use?
The death wheel.
The death wheel. They call it the death wheel. Oh, that is not what not. Now that we're back at Shelter Island, time to resume dry fitting. So this day, while Chad was at work, I got all of the frames finished up, and now we're doing a big old drill dry fit, getting everything through bolted and making sure everything fits up nicely before we start putting all the tarry goopy stuff on it, because if it didn't fit and it was covered in tar, that would be a bad time. Perfect. Literally dead center on all of them.
Back to wolves.
In case you were wondering, Chad is referring to Wolf Marine, and we did many trips there just to pick up boxes upon boxes of galvanized fasteners and bolts. This right here is the big push at the end of the day to get all of the holes drilled and all of the fasteners in place so that we know that everything fits picture perfect. and we would just push the ladder that we were working on a little bit further aft and just keep going. Oh, so the battery's dead, we're dead, and we're done. We have 2 more holes to drill, but we're done. So that's a tomorrow problem, but she is structural again. Well, we haven't done, this is just the big dry fit, but tomorrow is going to be a goopy, tarry, nasty, epoxy-filled mess.
Happy Mother's Day.
Always nice to stand back and admire the craftsmanship. In a few days, this will be covered in tar and epoxy, so it won't look quite this satisfying. Cool, so it's the next day. We got all these frames in, which feels awesome, and damn does that not look awesome. So stoked on this. And from here, as a part of the final dry fit, I'm gonna drive all of the fasteners into the planks. So the planks are fastened onto these frames, but we've sistered, the yellow cedar comes down maybe 3 to 4 planks. So I'm gonna drive lags and pre-drill all of the holes for that to give it final rigidity also up at the shear strake and the plank below it as well. So at that point, aside from bedding and the epoxy we want to do on the frame scarves, it's reassembled. Once the dry fit's done, we'll take everything back out and start treating everything with epoxy that needs to be treated, start slathering everything with tar so that it's all bedded, so that the fresh wood is bedded against tar instead of against formerly rotting planks, and that'll help mitigate any potential rot spread from one to the other as much as possible. And on top of that, for when we go to drive everything in, I've made a mix of linseed oil and roofing pitch, so it's a little more goopy than roofing pitch normally is. The point of that mix is to dip these into it and then drive them in, and that way they have a little more rot resistance and less contact metal against wood to mitigate iron sickness, but also water tightness, etc., and also to just lube them up as they go in, because sometimes these can be pretty hard to drive in, especially where we are going to put on new planks into the oak frames, which will be really hard to drive these into. So all right, here's the 4-stage process for each fastener. First, I drill with a spade bit so that I can clear way for the washer. Then I do a long skinny drill bit, and that clears out most of the wood, but not so much that there's not enough material for the threads of the lag bolts to bite onto. Then I do a shallow drill with a wider bit, and this clears way for the top of the lag bolt so that it'll cinch in nice and tight. Then impact driver to drive the lag in. Now I just repeat this 50 times and finish up any of the drilling that needs to be done for all the through bolting on the sistered frames that we weren't able to get to on the first day. And here we're just treating all of the formerly rotten and now exposed wood with S1, a penetrating epoxy, so that it makes this wood inert. Soak 'em and soak 'em.
And soaked up. Isn't your phone? Are you filming or just a picture? Oh.
Picture.
That was all my bolts.
High five.
I know. How do I get these off?
Your teeth. Yeah.
Oh, I thought you meant I had tar on my teeth.
No.
I was like, fuck. Oh.
Oh, hell yeah.
What did you say I am now?
A proper Jack Tar.
Jack Tar.
Hell yeah. So we're at the install phase, final install phase. We have done a mixture of tar and epoxy, not together, but in some spots together, to tar to bed all the new wood against the old wood, and epoxy to bond the scarfed surfaces together. And we have done final fastening on 3 of the frames and the planks associated. So it's all tight, it's all together, and feels really good. Here, I'll show you guys. So lots of oakum, tar, and linseed oil on the fasteners to keep things watertight. And also fastening on brings all of this structure together better. So there's epoxy in this scarf. We're gonna cut these bolts down. Excess tar just got smeared on the already epoxy treated timbers, and the fasteners go up into the shear strake as well. And same deal here, but here this was quite a mess. We discovered that the wheelhouse knee was through a really rotten futtock, so we replaced the entire futtock so that 3 new bolts could go in, holding the wheelhouse up through new wood. And this little mini futtock here was a little fucked, so we got rid of it. We left this because we just, it's superfluous at this point. And then all new frame here. All of this is through bolted all the way through 3 times, 2 times here, 3 times here. So quite the operation, and then goes down quite a few. So next is that one. Once we're done this one, we're done with the epoxy scarfing, and it'll go a lot quicker because it's just 3 bolts and a bunch of tar. Okay. Oh my god. This is my tarring shirt, I guess. Sheesh. All the frames are in, and they're all fully fastened. So port side is complete for now. Now I just have to do site cleanup and have a shower. But I'm gonna go swing by Magic Carpet because Aladino and I were chatting, and he's gonna, oh my god, he's gonna give me a bunch of lamps from Magic Carpet 2 for Thunderchild. So let there be light. I'm excited. Yeah, I'm gonna go check in with them, see how they're doing. But first, here's a look at the tarry atrocious mess that I've made. That is new frame, futtock, new frame. That's a new frame there too. It's just so covered in tar you can't see it. So we got there done. That's the last one I'm putting in. There's one more to go in here, but we don't have the fasteners long enough for it. So that's gonna be a job for Chad. And then hopefully after all this, they have all the experience and knowledge and understanding they need to start cracking on this side of the boat, because I suspect it has just as many fouled frames.
Well, then we had to make a tool to install it. We had to make a tool to remove it. Then we figured it out though. Yeah.
What you got in there, Aladino?
It's the most disappointing bag, but,
It's real store.
but it houses some good things.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah.
It's almost like, you know, I live in darkness on Thunderchild.
Well, I know you don't have an electrical system yet.
Not
so
yet, not
once you
yet.
have one, you also need the lights.
Absolutely. Hell yeah, I'm
so
super
they used
stoked.
to be in here, but we went for different ones.
Amazing.
So yeah, they're all yours.
Little piece of magic carpet
Cool.
hiding out in
Yeah,
Thunderchild.
how cool is that?
That's sweet. Thank
Nice.
you very much.
You're very welcome.
Yeah, I'm sure Haley will appreciate it.
Awesome.
It's very dark in the boat.
Doesn't have all the bulbs, but you might want to go for
I'm gonna
LED
buy
or
LED,
anything.
yeah. Sweet, how many?
Yeah. 5, unfortunately, not
Ooh.
6.
That's okay. I think I
I
have
thought
one
it's
of
an
those.
even number. Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Cool. Nice. Yeah.
Hell yeah. Woo!
Nice.
Thank you so much to Chad and Shelby for letting me work on your amazingly cool boat. And thank you so much to Aladino and Maya for the amazing lights. We've already got them installed now. And thank you so much to all of our patrons. Without you, we wouldn't be able to make this show. Please feel free to like, comment, or subscribe. Cheers. Talk to you later.